to our All Access studio. I'm Tabitha Reid, and I am really excited right now to have an exclusive interview with our very own Deborah Francis-White. She's a comedian, an author, and our host for Talent Connect. So welcome to All Access.
Do you know what? It is a delight and a pleasure to be here, an unqualified delight to be back at Talent Connect.
Fantastic. So last time I saw you was a year ago. You
Yes.
gave an incredible talk on the main stage.
Stop it now.
It was amazing. So what have you been up to in the last year?
Well, I've been developing my podcast, The Guilty Feminist.
Yes, love
which
it.
we've just had, it's been going for 18 months and we've just hit 20 million downloads,
Wow.
which is very exciting.
Incredible.
Got a lot of big fans in Australia, actually. Your Sydney, your hometown.
My peeps.
Yeah, I'm touring there and we're doing 3 shows in Sydney. 2 of them already sold out. I think there's a few tickets left for the last one. We're doing
get
shows
tickets.
in Melbourne and Brisbane and
fantastic.
Auckland. It's very exciting. And I'm writing a book that's going to come out next year, also called The Guilty Feminist. And it's about our noble goals as 21st century feminists and powerful women who want equality and more influence and to
Love
take up
it.
more space. And also our paradoxes, our hypocrisies, our insecurities, which undermine those goals. So for example, Tabitha, I might say I'm a feminist, but this is true. I'm a feminist, but I once went on a women's march and I popped into a department store to use the bathroom. And on the way out, I got distracted trying out face cream. And when I came out, the march was gone. That is a true story. So I confess things like that. I have guests on. We do stand-up comedians, and I'm a stand-up comedy. I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm not a stand-up comedy. I've just come off stage. So I'm still slightly in a hype
It's been a big morning for both of us, I think. Yeah. So you're back at Nashville this year. You're hosting us live. I'm hosting a live stream, so I'm really excited to actually get 10 minutes together.
I know. Look,
Knowing
we're
more
like
about you.
hosting buddies, but you're in the studio and I'm on the stage.
That's right. I have a little bit more time to redo things if it doesn't go so well.
Oh, that
Yeah.
must be so nice. The power of the edit.
That's right. This is correct. So you just did an interview with Edith Cooper. She is just phenomenal. From Goldman Sachs. And so as a comedian, I think my question more is what advice would you have for approaching difficult conversations, both outside and inside of the workplace?
Well, as a comic, our job is to bring the elephant in the room to life and have it rampage around. So that's what comedians do. It's much more surprising when someone like Edith Cooper, who's the global head of talent for Goldman Sachs, writes an article on LinkedIn that says, hey, we need to talk about race at work. I mean, who would have thought that would have even been a thing that could happen?
Right.
And so I think that she absolutely did something extraordinarily brave and important and necessary, given the state of the nation here in America. For me, I think comedians are subversive. That's what they're doing all the time. They're going, why are we talking about that? And one of the rules as a stand-up comic, if something happens, so someone drops a glass in the club you're playing, you have to acknowledge it. Otherwise it just looks like, I'm inflexible, I'm just going to keep saying my jokes.
Right.
So you have to make something of anything that happens, and so you learn to call whatever elephant is, coming through, tapping up, sneaking up behind you. It's just your job.
I love that. And it humanizes it too, right? And it makes it more relatable, especially if you're in that situation, how to tackle it. So I love that. So this year, our theme at Talent Connect is where instincts meets insights. It's a bit of a mouthful. So as a comedian, how do you juggle these?
Instincts and insights. Well, the sort of insights we're talking about here at Talent Connect is when you gather data and then what you can assess from that data. Right. Now, the data a comic has is it's a very easy metric. Are they laughing? You are judged on your performance every 60 seconds. That's your. We don't have an annual performance review. We have a minutely performance review. If they stop laughing, you're doing it wrong. And so, if they're not laughing, you have to draw on your instincts and go, okay, I have to re-steer the ship around to something that they like more.
Right.
But what you must never do is desperately try and cater to the audience and try and make them laugh, because there's nothing more off-putting than someone who's trying to make you laugh. If you're on a date and someone's like trying to be funny and they're doing like jokes with the breadsticks and you're like, please just stop.
Just stop. It is
just
actually
let it happen. Exactly. Just relax into it.
Right.
Funny will find you.
I think we've done a pretty good job of that this morning when we were chatting.
We're a riot. I think that's what people on the live stream are thinking. They're just going, I wish I was there with those guys. They're just like half of Sex in the City. That's probably what they're
Without
thinking.
the other two.
And without the Cosmos. Guys, where are the Cosmos? I feel like I was promised some kind of alcohol situation here. And there's nothing, there's not even a table.
There is actually nothing here. We're a pretty empty studio.
I was lured into this. Do you know, I'm not being paid for this. I'm being paid for the onstage stuff.
It's true.
This is something I volunteered to do because I was told there would be Nashville, like Jack Daniels. I was told my good friend Jack Daniels would be there, and he's not here. I feel like nobody's even running to get anything. There's all these, like, this crew.
There is no one
They're literally standing there going, oh, you know, I feel like somebody should be getting us cocktails, Tabitha.
Hey, you know what? Hopefully after this live stream, someone will be. Let's see.
I feel like that's what's going to happen.
I think so too.
I feel confident.
So, the sort of the last serious question, and then we're going to do a lightning round. That's always my favorite. Get to know you really quickly, really short. So, you know, most of our audience today on the live stream is talent acquisition professionals.
Sure.
So, as a creative, who you are, how do you determine the potential in something or someone?
How do I determine the potential?
Yeah, so when you see something, how do you look for the potential? If they may not have it, it could be, I know with your podcast, did you think about like interviewing people and bringing people in?
Oh, I see.
That may not be famous.
Okay, yes. All right. Here's my example.
Okay.
All right. I find it very difficult that a lot of comedy is very what can only be described as white and male. And it tends to be straight white male. Now listen, I love straight white men. I love some of my favorite husbands are white straight men, but it's just when it's all the same, you just want to hear from someone else.
Yeah.
So I decided to be the change I wanted to see in light entertainment, to paraphrase Gandhi. And I decided that in Britain we have a lot of these comedy panel shows like QI or Nevermind the Buzzcocks, where you have comedians competing in a quiz.
Right.
So in Australia you have Spicks and Specks, that kind of thing.
Yes, we do. Yes.
So I decided that those were generally dominated by white men, so I was going to do one that was based on diversity and inclusion. So I have a show called Global Pillage, with a P, in which we pillage the globe for facts about cultural diversity. So for example, in Colombia, they say you're swallowed like a postman's sock. It's an idiom. What do you think that means? You're swallowed like a postman's sock. When would you say that to somebody?
Oh, wow.
Somebody guessed drunk.
Okay.
And somebody guessed you smell. Do you have an idea? You're swallowed like a postman's sock.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
And do you know what it actually means?
No idea.
It means you've fallen in love. And it's so, you know, if you're walking in wellies in the mud, and then your sock just gets sucked into the welly, and you can't get it out. That's like being on Tinder. You're the sock. You're just like, I can't get out of this now. How am I going to get out? So that's a question we would ask. And the comedians have a lot of fun with it, and we throw it to the audience, and they're the hive mind, and they compete with the comedians, and they generally win because diversity works, and there's an audience of 100 people will know more than any 2 people. But we have to cast this diversity because we ask people to bring questions from their family background. So it's nothing for us to have 4 people of color on stage. You know, for women of color is no big deal. We have people who are LGBT. There's plenty of comedians who are diverse, plenty, but they're not getting the airtime and the experience. So for me, that's been an amazing place to build potential and to create a pipeline of diverse talent in comedy. And it just fills my heart with joy. When you see people come back doing it again and again and again and getting better and better and better, then you see them on another panel show and they're awesome because they've got the experience.
That's right.
So often there is an untapped potential in comedy for people who don't fit what you think a comedian looks like. You know, when a comedian comes out, they tend to look like Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah. Maybe they look like Chris Rock, but they very rarely look like Sarah Silverman. You know, so they very rarely look like a South Asian woman. So, you know, I want more people who look not just like that one sort of person, because everybody's comedy is different. Everyone's got a different life experience. Yeah. So you just get a better breadth of comedy. So Global Pillage, it's a podcast. You can find it at globalpillage.net. And
did everyone get that? I think we should say it one more time.
Globalpillage.net. Global Pillage.
Not .com, .net.
.net.
Yes.
And my other podcast is guiltyfeminist.com. And again, there we are really providing a sort of warm, delightful, diverse hub of women.
Love
We're
that.
very aware of our guests and my guest co-hosts being diverse, bringing
Right.
something different. Are they a person of color? Are they trans? Are they a mother? Are they somebody who was, raised without a family? What is your diversity? And not just having the same people again and again and again. And it makes it so much more interesting and fun.
I love that. I love that. And I think you said, would you say wellies?
Wellies.
Wellies.
What do you call
Let's define
these?
it to the audience. So wellies are actually gumboots or
gumboots.
galoshes.
Galoshes.
So we're just going back a couple of minutes. If you heard wellies, that's the definition of that.
What do they say
I
in
got it.
America for wellies?
Galoshes.
Galoshes.
Galoshes?
Galoshes, is that correct?
Yeah.
Galoshes. So if you're
Galoshes.
out in your galoshes and your sock goes into your galosh.
Yes.
Is that a galosh? Is it one single galosh? I don't think it is. I've never heard of a galosh. I've only heard of galoshes. So it goes into one of your galoshes. Then that's like falling in love in Colombia, apparently.
That's right.
So you have code switch there for you.
Just
I've
making
code
sure with
switched.
our diverse audience that they're
right.
understanding everything. So we've
Rubber
cleared
boot,
that up.
a boot you'd wear in the mud. Wherever you're from, bless you, we all have different words for those rubber boots. It's not clear why.
So I think I'm ready for the lightning round.
Oh, bring it
And then we
on,
can
baby.
Just have a chat.
Bring it on.
Okay,
Bring on
so-
that lightning round.
We're going to speed around it. So have you ever not been able to make it work and been fired from a job?
Oh, yes.
Let's hear the story. We want to hear it.
Okay, so I was working for a hotel, and I would work on the guest liaison because I spoke Japanese, and I was in Australia. So did you study Japanese in Australia?
No, I'm studying Mandarin right now.
Oh, are you? Well,
So 2 years in.
Well, when I went to school, we all had to speak Japanese.
Yep.
We had to learn to speak Japanese and French. And Japanese was so much easier because it was so much more regular than French.
right.
So I learned to speak Japanese, and then I got this job, and I was working at this hotel. And one day I went for a break, and I left the cash box out
Oh, no.
on the counter. So anybody could have walked past
Just swiped
and
it.
taken it. And they didn't. And I think that's what we have to remember. Nobody stole the cash box, but the manager didn't see it that way and said that I had to go. Can you imagine? I mean, can you imagine? Why would you? I was so young as well. I was a teenager, guys. I mean, I still look back at that and think, I could have been running that hotel now, and thank God I got fired.
I have the same experience. Mine's more, in America it's Burger King, in Australia it's Hungry Jack's. Same thing. I could have been running a couple of chains by now, but just wasn't up to par for the
Did you
onion
get fired
rings.
from? Did you get fired from Hungry Jack's?
The burgers and onion rings. I didn't do a very good job of cooking in the back, so it's a couple of accidents, but we won't get into that. But I definitely learned a lot, which is great.
And we apologise to any of the staff that still live with the scars, because fat scars, it cuts in. You're never getting rid of that.
Cuts deep.
Tabitha, if Tabitha maimed you in any way, she feels sorry. She doesn't look sorry. She feels it.
We've definitely made up since then. That was only 2 weeks ago, but we're fine. So, okay, let's fill in the blank. You never leave home without.
Mascara.
I love that.
A little liquid eyeliner and mascara, gang. It opens the eye out, okay? Now listen, if that's not for you, that's not for you, but the question was aimed at me. Don't judge me.
That's right. We don't need any judging right now.
It's a little...
Okay, we're going to start to wrap this up though, but I want to make sure we get the right answers here. So your current music playlist must include...
Bob Dylan.
Oh, that's a good one.
And a little bit of Tom Petty because he's not well.
Yes, there's some news on Tom Petty that we should probably look at after we finish this live.
Okay, all right.
I don't think she's seen it yet.
Okay.
And
Is 2017 the kind of year where Tom Petty's going to die twice?
we're not going to get into that right now.
Twice. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Throw me another question.
Okay. I decompress from work by...
I decompress.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said I
Chill out.
I chill out from work by having a bath. I've got the best bath.
Oh,
It's
wow.
very, very deep. A deep bubble bath.
Yeah.
Vodka soda with a little dash of cranberry if anyone's buying.
Do you have the little hooves too? Like the 4 little hooves on the bathtub? Or are you just like a bathtub that's cemented in?
No, I have a freestanding bath, but it has no hooves. It's just beautiful, modern, big old
Love
freestanding
that.
bath.
I can picture it right now.
With a gin and tonic
Decompressing.
shelf.
Gin and tonic.
Throw me another question.
Okay,
We're being
another
wrapped
question.
up.
If I wasn't living my best life being an author, writer and comedian, because you're just killing it,
Sure.
I would be what?
Oh, there's a world in which I think I could have been a mother to 6 children in an enormous house, like rambly, loud children, writing books for them. and reading them to them, putting
Yeah,
on
I love
shows
that.
with children
Right.
and having all of their friends over. As it is, I have 0 children, but then I am, in Nashville on a weekday in a Vivienne Westwood dress. So it swings and roundabouts. No one's vomiting on me currently. So, there's good things and bad things. But yeah, there's a world in which I think I could have been a happy mother of a large family, but not one child, the Waltons. I could have mothered the Waltons.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And my last question is, are you a morning or afternoon, night person?
Oh, night. Night owl. Come on. Come on. I had to get up early this morning. I had to be at work for LinkedIn. And I do
Yes,
this.
we're both up pretty early.
I do this for you, LinkedIn, because I love you.
True.
I was at work at 8:30 this morning. Now, I'm a comedian. That's like shaking you awake at 2 a.m. and saying, get up and be interesting. But I did it because I'm here for you.
That's fantastic. You're amazing.
Yeah. I love working for LinkedIn. It's fun. You
It's
guys
been an
are
incredible-
so fun.
Incredible ride the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's my favorite place to work. It's one of my favorite places to work if you're watching from a different company. I am, let us be clear, expensive but worth it. I will come to wherever you are and do whatever you want. But as long as it can be fun as it is at LinkedIn.
Well, thank you for joining us. You're incredible. We've spent some time together. I cannot wait to see you the next couple of days. Just crush it on stage.
Thank you.
Biggest fan right here.
Oh, stop it, Tabitha. I'm going to watch some of the live stream as well because I really want to see more of what you do. She's
great.
like she should do TV presenting, don't you think? She should make this a full-time job. I'm not saying leave LinkedIn. I'm saying I'm recruiting you for entertainment.
All right, well, let's wrap it up because I've had about 4 hours experience on this whole live thing. So coming up next, we have a breakout with Leah Busk from TaskRabbit. Enjoy.